Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of Retaliation, where I take old stories I've narrated and update into modern audio standards. This particular story is called The Sapient LogicBomb, written by Dolduck. I remember when the humans first met the United Council of Species. I am more than 4,000 years old, and have spent the last 1,250 of those serving as a council member for my species, the Yitri. About 800 years ago, the Bentian explorer bumped into one of their systems. Bentians endure the long months of deep space FTL travel well, and are still employed as explorers by the UCS today. But anyway, we make first contact, and after some negotiations, they agreed to send a delegation to the UCS in exchange for one of ours. It was the usual diplomatic mission with security and a collection of scientists to help make sense of the culture package. It really helps having an actual species there when distilling the entire history and technological progress of a star-spanning culture into a format the Council can easily digest. It also helps us quickly identify possible avenues of trade and mutual development. And it helps us identify threats to the continued existence of galactic civilization. So they arrived here in Core. The diplomats go to the council complex, and the scientists go to the Silkic labs. It used to be located about 300 kilometers west of the council complex, on the outskirts of the capital. I was part of the team that met with the diplomats. The first 10 days went well. There didn't seem to be anything that unusual about them, apart from the fact that they were bipedal and didn't have a tail, but they seemed to be a reasonable species. They had expanded in a rough sphere around their homeworld. I think it was about 400 light years in diameter in those days. They were a collection of different democracies gathered under a unified body. Their navy was oversized, but nothing worryingly so. The initial reports from Psychic Labs were all very optimistic. The humans were clever, had rich history, rapid progress, all good things. During lunch on the 11th day, we were informed that Psychic Labs had initiated a full quarantine, full lockdown, all lines cut, full jamming of wireless signals, no access in or out. I don't really remember what happened until a couple hours later, when the jamming suddenly died out, and a single file was sent out. We tried calling them, but none of our calls were answered. Silkic Labs were silent. The file turned out to be a compressed sound clip. The contents, though, they were disturbing to say the least. I'll even play it for you here. The humans are immune. Don't say it. Don't say it. It was one of them that set off the quarantine. You can't come in here. Don't say it. It'll infect you. The humans are immune. But they killed her. They killed all of them. No, don't say it. I don't have long. I think I'm the last. No one else. Don't say it. It's just 6 words. But if you hear them or read them, that's it. They killed each other. Don't come in here. It's too dangerous. Don't say it. Grunkle tore a hole in my thorax, but I got him. Minutes left now. Good. I know the words. No one should know them. He was the last. Grunkle, no. I the last. No, don't say it. Don't come in here. Now turn off the jamming and send us. Don't say it. Goodbye. We played it for the humans. They seemed very worried, and understandably so. Some sort of event or infection had hit Silkic Labs, and the only information we had suggested that everyone inside was dead, and that we humans were immune to whatever it was. It did not look good for them, and we were growing suspicious. When the rhetoric started getting increasingly belligerent, the humans persuaded us to let their security detachment enter the labs, since they would reportedly be immune. It also left their ambassadors in our hands, so it was seen as a reasonable compromise. Their security people were called Marines, and we watched the feeds from their helmets as they entered Silkic Labs. It was appalling. The researchers and other employees at the labs had torn each other apart. Using their natural weapons, or whatever they could improvise, they had turned the place into a slaughterhouse. Torn and rendered bodies were everywhere, blood and viscera on the walls and ceiling, the color of many different species, making it a hellish rainbow. Many of them had obviously done this to themselves. We all sat stunned. Silkic Labs was dead. The Marines continued searching. They found the humans in pieces and had to resort to counting actual heads. They found 3 of them outside the control room. It looked like they'd be defending it and doing a good job until they were overwhelmed when you look at the amount of bodies the Silkic Labs colors. Inside the control room was a Feck administrator who had sent the message, bled out from a ragged hole in his side. His left lower foreleg was ripped off. He had punched it through the ocular cavity and into the brain of a large furry Reman who lay dead at the control room floor. Feck blood on its claws. Still, we had no indication of what had caused this. No explanation other than everybody going homicidally insane. Then one of the Marines panned over a wall. It was covered in writing. Luckily, not many species take the time to learn each other's written languages. It's much easier to rely on audio translators, and this was in Urarish. I remember looking expectantly at my Urarish team member. He blinked rapidly and started to twitch. He started mumbling to himself, and I remember asking him what he was saying, when he suddenly started screaming, "No!" He got up and started running. He then hurled himself forward and impaled himself on a jagged Urxian sculpture that was in the room. All the footage was erased. The rest is hazy. 800 years is a long time. We quarantined their species. We had to. It was apparently just a simple question, 6 words long, one which their strange minds could somehow withstand. They gave birth to it, after all, but which drove all other sapient minds irrevocably mad. Every human being was a potential weapon of mass destruction. To invite them to our worlds would be suicidal. So we quarantined them, and they agreed with it. It was sad, a vibrant species forever cut off from the rest of the galactic society. We maintain a single line of heavily filtered communication with them. They update us on their territories, and we update them on ours. Our relationship is not warm, but it exists. 387 years ago, we met you, the Niponese. You have never let us in doubt as to your imperial aspirations, but we let you into the UCS so you had full access to our archives for well over 380 of those years. You knew that was a human planet you invaded. The humans reported your actions to us, and we imposed sanctions on you. Then, you launched a massive invasion on human territory. We saw the atrocities you committed, again, through our channel to the humans. Now, Ambassador, to the reason I called you. We received this from the humans 10 minutes ago, and I suspect it explains why you have been unable to contact your government. It reads, at 0300 UTC, human stealth ship successfully shut down all communications buoys leading into Niponese space and deployed the Sapient LogicBomb. No leaks detected from Niponese space. We will continue containment procedures for the time being. We'll keep you advised. 2 weeks later, one of the last Niponese alive finally succumbed to his madness. He drew his last breath in front of the wall that circled his home. His hands were a rude mess of blood and flesh. The price of a frantic message scrawled on the wall, thousands of times. The same question, is a hot dog a sandwich? 2 kilometers away, the first human settlers landed. End of story. Story number 2 of Monsters and Men, written by Buckinator 137-HFY. The only thing scarier than a monster. Humans are weak. They are short-lived. They are dumb and without any natural grace. They lack claw and fang, scales, or carapace. Their skin is soft, their bones breakable. We've all heard these things, and 100 variations, and for the most part, they're true. But they don't take anything other than their weaknesses into account. Yet they terrify me, because I have seen those men and women that could raise kingdoms and end bloodlines. When a neighboring village had a problem with a ghoul infestation, desecrating corpses and making new ones, they sent word to the Hunters Guild. The guild sent 5 to face down a crypt's worth of ghouls. 5 men and women, more bronze cogs and steel plates than flesh, walked into the crypt, and 3 walked out carrying their fallen. They arrived and left without a word. The job was done, and that was that. The village elders sent the payment, and the deal was completed. When the city guard were being harassed by lichens in the wood, they went to the guild for help. They sent a contingent of human hunters armed with blunderbusses and blades of silver-red steel. A week later, the attacks had halted, and the half of the hunters still alive took their dead home. Even the dwarves, masters of their minds, called upon the guild to rid their minds of the fell beasts and supernatural specters that had taken residence in the ore-rich tunnels. Most surprising of all was when the High Elven King himself went to the guild for help. A being once so proud had come to mere weak humans for help when a rift into the abyss had opened and flooded his once oh-so-pristine lands with horrors of other worlds. They pushed the foul beasts back to the abyss from whence they came, leaving a trail of bodies in their wakes. Monstrosities and hunters alike littered the lands. Answer me this, though, men. Have you ever heard of Alvan or even Dragonborn hunters, Has not one of you heard of any non-human hunters? The guild accepts any that'll join it, but it's only ever humans that do. They're the most dangerous of us all. Sever an elf's limb, and they'll die before much can be done. Sever a hunter's limb, and they'll bolt a new one of blood and steam to take its place. Break a dwarf's bones, and they'll never heal quite right. Snap a human femur in half, and they'll be running again within the year. Hex a gnome, and he'll descend into madness. Hex a man, and you only harden his resolve. I asked one of them why they did it after he and his compatriots said saved myself and my crew from a basilisk. He fixed me with his clockwork eye, shrugged, and said the hazard pay would be enough to give his kids an education with only a few more hunts. Tell anyone other than a human to hunt monsters that could rend them from limb to limb for money, and they'd look at you as though you were insane. But humans are a different beast from the lot of us. If I didn't know better, I'd swear they had monster blood in them all as well. Is the monster that you sent to kill it. End of story. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Vidmori, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.